Well, Saturday, 45 hours, that's when Arsenal is going to be hosted by Aston Villa at the Villa Park. The last time Arsenal hit obviously play at the Villa Park, Arsenal found itself being beaten by 1-0. And I think Arsenal really had chances to score, but they failed to obviously win that game of football. But most memorably is Mikel Arteta was banned because he had gone ahead to obviously get, I think, he had gone ahead to accumulate, was it 5 yellow cards, and couldn't be allowed to be on the touchline. And that's why the Arsenal assistant manager was really in charge of that in charge of that game, and Arteta was doing that game into the stands. You remember very well. So that's how everything went ahead to pan out when Mikel Arteta was obviously doing that. And he watched it in the stands, and you never knew if at all he was onto the stands. Sorry, if at all he was on the touchline, something would have gone ahead to obviously happen. So this is the Rokani Media Football. We're here to obviously get through the match preview of Aston Villa versus Arsenal. You know, you obviously know to it that tomorrow is the pre-match press conference where Mikel Arteta is obviously going to come out and really let us know about what he is all about, who is available and who is not available, and he will also be talking about Mikel Merino. Remember, we are powered by Mono Gadgets, 256 dealers into phones, laptops, brand new. And even if you want used phones, you know, even if you're interested in used phones and laptops from UK, call them on +256 70 99 88 665. Follow them on TikTok at Mono Gadgets, and you will see the vast range of products that they do really have into stock. We thank God for the gift of life, the Muslims. We thank Allah for the gift of life, and let's obviously get going. Now, Aston Villa, I think, is the only team that collected 6 points from Arsenal last season, right? It's the only team that collected 6 points from Arsenal last season, because even at the Emirates, they came and beat Arsenal by 2-0. That game that really put Arsenal totally off the trophy, because they really fell back 2 points behind the side of Man City, and Man City never went ahead obviously lose a game, and they had to win all what it took. They had to win all the games on their disposal to see to it that all goes on as planned. So that is the side of Aston Villa. You know, they are triumphant twice. You know, they got a brace of wins, you know, from the side of Arsenal. And this time around, Mikel Arteta will be like, I'm not allowing this to happen to me, because I told you last season, I told you at the beginning of this season that what Arsenal has to do is to do things right. Everything they got wrong, they should put it right, and they should maintain those they did right, and they should obviously rectify 90% of the things they did wrong. And 90% of the things they did wrong, one of those is losing to Aston Villa home and away. And I tell you, if they never lost to Aston Villa home and away, Arsenal would have gone ahead to obviously be the winners of the trophy. If they had only gone ahead to win one, right? You get? If they had only gone ahead to win one game and lost one, they would have gone ahead obviously be tying points with Man City, and I think Arsenal had a better goal difference than City, hence winning the trophy. Now, this season, Arsenal commenced with a 2-0 win against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Then Aston Villa commenced with a 2-1 win against West Ham at the London Stadium, and they are playing their first game at home. But Aston Villa doesn't have Douglas Luiz, but went ahead obviously adding Onana, who went ahead obviously open up the scoreline in that game, and he's really looking great, very strong and very energetic. They've gone ahead to add in close to 3-4 players into their squad, and they're looking like they're ready to obviously take on the side of City. Arsenal have gone ahead to bring in Ricardo Carafiori, and they've also gone ahead to bring in Mikel Merino, who has been sounded. Here we go to Arsenal today, and is going to be traveling to obviously undergo his medical at the stadium of Arsenal and the facility known as Sobuha Reality Training Center. So Unai Emery is facing Mikel Arteta, and there is a very huge discussion that has been taking place. And I tell you what, it is really one of those biggest arguments that is really going to gain momentum or really get a cold or really dusted away if I told Mikel Arteta beats Unai Emery. You remember, if I told you watch FTV, the fan cam, there was a certain fan who was with Robbie and told him that Unai Emery is 100% better than Arteta. And the moment Arteta loses that game, I know it's really gonna fuel more and more and more. So let's go to the team news. The team news for Arsenal: Fabio Vieira is expected to return, but we wait for the pre-match press conference of Mikel Arteta on whether he's really going to be available as Arsenal takes on the side of Aston Villa. Then Tomiyasu is still out, and Kian Tien is also still out. Declan Rice looks like he's going to be back because he never accomplished the 90 minutes when Arsenal was playing against Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Emirates Stadium. But the rest of the players are readily available. For Aston Villa, they have only one player out, Matty Cash. But the rest of the players are going to show up and really put in the required shift all together into the mix. That's Aston Villa for you at the Villa Park. Now let's go into the predicted starting 11, and then we'll see the head-to-head stats as they obviously come up to see who is a better position team. So how many likes? 200 likes match this video, right? And let's go to the system that Arsenal is expected to deploy. It's a 4-3-3 system, and let's go to who is going to be starting and who is really going to be benched. In goal, no doubt about him, David Raya, making 2 fantastic saves for the club of Arsenal as they took on Wolverhampton Wanderers. In that game, they won 2-0. And I think if he doesn't do those saves, you know what happens. If he doesn't do those saves, you know what happens. They really lose that beautiful game of football, you understand, to the side of Wolverhampton Wanderers, because he really did a very wonderful job and it was really good. So for me, David Raya is going to be in the stitches for the club of Arsenal. The right back, Benjamin White, played like 60 minutes, and then Julian Timber came on and really played the remainder of the 90, you know, and he really looked great. But the big question is, who is starting as a right back? I think Mikel Arteta is going to be maintaining Benjamin White to play as the right back for the side of Arsenal. Then when we go to the left back, Zinchenko was the man who played as the left back against Wolverhampton Wanderers, but against Aston Villa, if you know that they're really having a man who is really in flying form, known as Leon Bailey, you really doubt a little bit onto how Zinchenko can obviously handle him. And if I told Mikel Arteta, I drop Zinchenko, not for Carafiori, not for Jakub Kivio, but for Julian Timber. That is it. I do that. I drop him because I know defensively he is really gonna be a weak link. And what Aston Villa is gonna be doing is they are gonna really play what we call a high line, but they are gonna really sorry about that. They are gonna be surrendering possession to the side of Arsenal, and they will continue to really hit Arsenal in the break. And if at all Zinchenko comes in through, obviously they'll target that side, and you'll see to it that most of the attacks of Aston Villa will obviously be launched from the right attacking side of the midfield that will be having a left back of Zinchenko. But I believe for me, if I told Mikel Arteta, I go for Julian Timber to play as the left back of this beautiful game of football. Then right-sided centre back, no doubts about that, William Saliba. And then the left-sided centre back, it's going to be Gabriel Magalhaes into the mix. So that's my back 5 that I believe Arteta should bring in through and obviously put in a very good shift altogether to take this game and these points back home. Now, in the midfield, if you look at how the side of Villa is really going to line up with the likes of Onana, you know, Boba Kamara, McGinn, Jacob Ramsey, all utility man, strong players and talented. You anticipate that you will need a Thomas Partey into that midfield as you see him there. You need a Thomas Partey to be played into that CDM position of Arsenal. You understand? So that is Thomas Partey for you, and I anticipate that having gonna hit to do a very good job against Wolverhampton Wanderers, then I believe the manager will obviously play him into this position. Alongside who? Alongside Declan Rice. I believe Declan Rice is going to be having a very busy day, and Thomas Partey into that midfield, especially when it comes to shielding that back four. As for Villa, they can really attack you throughout any position of the pitch, centrally, wide forward, and anywhere they can do the needful. That is the side of Aston Villa, and I tell you, they are going to attack Arsenal like no other, and they will be doing the needful to attack them, even to really threaten their presence into that midfield. And these two will have to read the runs of those players very well, and obviously intensity has to be good well. But when you're having Declan Rice, one of the players with very many checkmates, very many interceptions, and going forward is really good, you'll need him to obviously be at his peak to obviously stop that eruption. That eruption through the midfield at the side of Aston Villa. So I think the other one is really known is going to be Martin Odegaard to be played into that midfield, and I know his role very well, that creating a lot for the center forwards and the wide forwards into that game. So we go to the right forward, no doubt, Bukayo Saka. Obviously, he really showed us that he's really ready, and he really went ahead to score a goal and put in an assist in that game where Aston went ahead to beat the side of Wolverhampton Wanderers by 2-0. And for Bukayo Saka to obviously send a message that this is my season and I want to lift the club of Arsenal to win the trophy, he needs to come into this game of football and really perform like he performed against Aston Villa. But I doubt whether Aston Villa will obviously give him the spaces that Wolves gave Bukayo Saka to operate on the 2 goals that they really scored. The first one, putting in that cross without any disturbance, and the second one, chopping out, and then he went in for a snap shot at the near post. You understand? So that is Bukayo Saka for you. So I anticipate that it's one game that he has to come out and really show to it that he's really that main guy for the club of Arsenal, because in games like this is where you come up and really launch yourself that you are that guy that is really gonna really be unstoppable. And if Atoli continues to score, that will obviously show us that he's going to launch his season like he did start last season, but towards the climax, Saka was like really shrinking. On the left, he's having Trossard, Reece Nelson, and Martinelli. The man likes Martinelli, but he likes Martinelli a lot, and I believe when you look at how Martinelli is struggling, you would obviously start a player called Trossard to play off the left, and then Martinelli comes off the bench. But I believe he's going to start Martinelli off the left attacking side of the midfield, and that's how he's really going to be starting. Leading the line, Gabriel Jesus or Kai Havertz. This is self-explanatory that it's really going to be Kai Havertz to lead the line. 1 goal, 1 assist in 1 game, and I believe Kai Havertz is going to be one of the big ones to see to it that everything really goes on as to plan. So that is the probable starting 11 coming in through from the Rokani Media Football, and Rokani David is the man bringing it to you. So you can as well go into the comment section and tell me your thoughts about that probable starting 11 on what you think it's really going to be like. So when you look at the game that with the team that played against Wolverhampton Wanderers, looks like it's one change that I'm anticipating to make. Zinchenko will be dropped, according to me, to see to it that Kai Havertz leads the line and Julian Timber comes to play into that Zinchenko position. So that is my probable starting 11. And for Villa is expected to look as follows as far as Portsmouth is really concerned. But they've told us that Villa will have Martinez, formerly at Arsenal, then Cash, Konsa, Torres, Digne, back 4. Then Bailey, Tielemans, Onana, McGinn, Watkins, Duran. You understand? But I believe that is not going to be the case, because they are going to be starting Leon Bailey, and this other guy that came in from Chelsea has to obviously get a very good go into that game. You understand? That is Maston, Ian Maston. I know he's really going to be getting some playing time into that side. So let's go to the head-to-head stats. After the head-to-head start, I'll tell you exactly what this is really gonna be all about. So let's go to the head-to-head stats and see what this game of football is really gonna be all about into the mix. Now, the first head-to-head stat reads: Aston Villa did the double over Aston last season, accounting for 40% of the Ghana's Premier League defeats. 2 out of 5 they've been defeated. They've beaten Arsenal in 3 consecutive Premier League meetings, twice before November 1999 and February 2023. So they'll be looking to obviously beat or relegate 3 consecutive wins in the Premier League against Arsenal for the first time since November 1993, and February 2021. So that's what we're really waiting for and see how things are really going to pan out. Then secondly, Arsenal have won 14 away Premier League games against Aston Villa. With those 14 wins at Villa Park, they are joint most at a single away venue in the competition. Also 14 at Selhurst Park. So they are going to be doing something great for the side of Arsenal. And I tell you, it's really going to come in big and better, right? Then Arsenal really has an edge. 14 games won at the Villa Park. That is really great for Arsenal, and I believe they have a chance to obviously collect a win away at Villa Park. Then thirdly, Aston Villa have won 5 of their last 9 Premier League meetings with Arsenal, losing 4, keeping a clean sheet. Each time, it's as many wins as they've managed in their previous 46 against the Gunners. So that is the side of Arsenal for you. Then we go to the second last head-to-head start. Arsenal have scored 98 Premier League goals against Aston Villa, only netting more goals against Everton 124, West Ham 109, Tottenham Hotspur 105. Only Liverpool and Manchester United, 5 opponents each, have netted 100 plus Premier League goals against more different opponents. So that's the side of Arsenal, scoring very many goals in this fixture, and they run riot into this fixture. So wait and see how that pans out. Lastly, Aston Villa looking to win their opening Premier League match in a season for a 4th time, also doing so in 1995 to 1996 season, 1999 to 2000 season, and 2020 to 21 season, meaning that they've not been winning most of their opening games of the season. That is Aston Villa for you. So after these head-to-head starts, I tell you what, I'm giving Arsenal a 2-1 win. A 2-1 win against Aston Villa. It can even be 1-0 because Arsenal has proven that it's very hard for them to concede when they're really playing away from home. But when it's Villa, you understand that maybe they might obviously get in someone who can obviously really find it hard not to score against them, because when you look at the likes of Oli Watkins and very many others, it is really going to be important to note. So that is my prediction: 2-1 win for the club of Arsenal. And Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba have to really put a very clear eye at a player called Oli Watkins, because he's really that deadly and he can obviously do the info and really put them to the sword. So that's the probable starting 11 for the club of Arsenal. Go into the comment section, tell me your thoughts about your probable starting 11, and we'll be here waiting to see what you guys are really going to be saying about this. So guys, I call upon for your reactions in the comment section below, and continue to subscribe to see that we hit 30,000 subscribers before the end of this month. We are left with just 8-9 days for this month to obviously come to an end, and I tell you what, nothing is really going to stop us from obviously bringing you the best of the best. That is the probable starting 11, and I think we can call it quits for now, right? Right? But 200 likes on the video, and we are powered by Mono Gadgets, right? Mono Gadgets are dealers into phones, laptops that are brand new, and phones and laptops that are really used from the UK, and laptops that are really used from the UK. So endeavor to contact them on +256 70 9988665. WhatsApp them, call them. They'll obviously be at your rescue or at your service. And then you can as well follow them on TikTok, search for Mono Gadgets, and you'll see the vast range of products that are really lined up in their shops to give you the best that you deserve. May the living to God bless you abundantly. May the living to God bless you abundantly. I'm out. Bye-bye.